to it and shoot for the sky.
Wrestlers join the wrestling business to make a name and a living for themselves. And one way of becoming a big star in the wrestling business is winning championships. Unfortunately, not all wrestlers win wrestling gold. WWE is the biggest name in wrestling, and making it there is just part of the dream. WWE only puts titles on wrestlers they see as promising and money-making. And not everyone gets the honor of being a champion in WWE. So, in this list, we cover 10 wrestlers to never hold a title in WWE. Number 1, Gangrel. Gangrel first made his WWE debut in 1993 to 1995 and started out as an enhancement talent, meaning he was only there to get other bigger names over. He'd leave, and between 1996 and 1998, he would make his way through ECW and WCW, but never amounted to much. In 1998, he'd return to WWE. In his second run in WWE, he formed the Brood with Edge and Christian, then formed a new version of the Brood with Matt and Jeff Hardy. He also was a member of The Undertaker's Ministry of Darkness faction. He'd compete as a solo star too, but once again didn't amount to too much. In 2004 and 2007, he'd make a couple WWE appearances but didn't stay long. He'd show up in AEW a few times between 2020 and 2024 and have a few flings. And in all of these companies, surprisingly, he never held a wrestling title. In WWE, he could have been an intercontinental, European, or at least a hardcore title contender, but it never happened for the guy. To some, he's considered a legend for his time in WWE in the Attitude Era. But to WWE, they didn't see him as championship worthy. Number 2, Jake the Snake Roberts. Jake the Snake is a WWE Hall of Famer and the creator of the DDT. He's had great matches with tons of legends in the 80s and some memorable moments and matches in the 90s. He was the ultimate heel who didn't have to yell to get his point across. But despite his character and abilities to cut promos and invent wrestling moves, he never won a single title in the WWE. Sure, he's earned his Hall of Fame spot, but title-wise, he never got the opportunity to hold a world title or mid-card title either. Number 3, Sunny. Sunny was the official first diva in WWE and AOL's most downloaded celebrity in 1996. She debuted in WWE in 1994 during the New Generation era and stayed in the company until July 1998 after rumors circulating that she had backstage issues with Sable and had a drug problem, aside from no showing several appearances. Between 1998 and 2000, she would appear in ECW and WCW. But her drug problems and other issues would derail her career. She made appearances for WWE between 2007 and 2011. In 2009, she competed at WrestleMania in the Miss WrestleMania Battle Royal. That'd be her only WWE match ever. She made other appearances too, but in 2011, she was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. Although she is a WWE Hall of Famer and two-time Slammy Award winner, the once beloved and adored star cannot say she's a former champion in WWE or elsewhere, to be correct. Number 4, George the Animal Steele. George Steele came into WWE in 1967 and was a heel for almost 20 years. His first WWE appearances involved a heated rivalry with then WWE champion Bruno Sammartino. He had classic matches against Sammartino and others, and came very close to winning the WWE Championship on many occasions. In 1985, fans embraced him, and he became a beloved character. In 1995, he was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. He would join the Oddities stable between 1998 and 1999. He would make appearances in WCW, TNA, and some indie scenes too. His last time in the ring was in WWE, as he made an appearance on Raw in 2010. George made some video game cameos and wrote a book. He's had a song named after him and even had a small film career. He's accomplished a lot in his legendary career, but a WWE championship of any kind is not one of those things. Number 5. Jimmy Superfly Snuka. Jimmy Snuka has a few runs in the WWE. Once from 1982 to 1985, he'd wrestled several WWE championship matches, but to no avail. He also main evented Madison Square Garden on multiple occasions, and including his famous Superfly splash from the top of the cage onto Don Morocco. He left WWE and wrestled in Japan and a few other places before returning to WWE in 1989 and stayed until 1993. This time around, he wrestled at a couple WrestleMania events, including the WrestleMania 7 match that saw Snuka lose to The Undertaker to begin his undefeated WrestleMania streak. By early 1992, he had left for ECW, and in between 1992 and 1994, wrestled a match for WCW and held the ECW World title and TV title as well. In 2000, he made an appearance on WCW Nitro. He'd wrestle for numerous indie scenes and also made a special appearance for TNA Victory Road 2004. He'd have some memorable moments and some wrestling matches between 2005 and 2009. Snuka throughout his legendary career had titles in ECW, NWA, and other places too. And he even became a WWE Hall of Famer in 1996. Out of everything he's accomplished and titles he's held, he can't say add a championship from WWE on his resume. Number 6. The Bushwhackers. Luke and Butch made their WWE debut in 1988. They were a comedic act and were popular with the children. They lasted until 1996 and at that point was the last stars of the golden era to be around at the time. After leaving WWE, they would wrestle indie circuits and in ECW. They'd return to WWE one last time at WrestleMania X7 in the Gimmick Battle Royal, which the Iron Sheik won. They'd both retire by 2002, with one of them wrestling a match still wrestles into his mid-70s. They'd enter the WWE Hall of Fame in 2015 together. They've held titles in a few promotions, but in WWE, the only achievement they had was being in the WWE Hall of Fame and no WWE titles of any sort on their solo record or tag team record either. Number 7. Sting. Sting is one of those wrestlers who we thought we'd never see in WWE. He was a WCW lifer, wrestling for the Georgia-based company from 1987 till its dying days in 2001. He'd wrestle for the World Wrestling All-Stars promotion, aka WWA, from November 2002 until the company's end in 2003. Sting would then wrestle for TNA Wrestling from 2003 to 2014. In WCW and TNA, Sting was able to hold multiple championships, including world championships as well. But Sting made his way over to WWE in 2014. He had 3 matches in WWE, one teaming with John Cena on an episode of Monday Night Raw, where together they defeated Big Show and Seth Rollins. His other 2 and most known WWE matches was wrestling Triple H at WrestleMania 31 in a losing effort and wrestling Seth Rollins at Night of Champions 2015. His Night of Champions match against Seth Rollins in 2015 was his one and only WWE Championship match. But Rollins would retain the title and almost ended Sting's career too. Luckily for Sting, he'd debut in a EEW in December 2020 and would have success as a tag team champion and have some great matches and moments. And to this day is still singed with AEW to Legends deal and makes sporadic appearances for the company. But still, Sting had a 3-match career with WWE, and one of those being a WWE title opportunity, in which he was unsuccessful in. But long, short, doesn't matter. His WWE career happened, and inside his WWE career, he became a WWE Hall of Famer in 2016, but he wasn't able to win a WWE title of any kinds. Number 8, Tori Wilson. Tori Wilson is a former wrestler, fitness trainer, and model. And now that her wrestling career is behind her, she is a web-based fitness instructor and blogger. But despite being a wrestler from 1999 to 2008, She hasn't held a wrestling championship anywhere, and that includes WWE. She's had a few non-wrestling television and film roles, and made a few music video appearances, and even posed for Playboy twice, once in 2003 by herself, and once in 2004 alongside Sable. She joined the WWE Hall of Fame in 2019. Her WWE Hall of Fame induction is her only wrestling achievement. So, with that being said, Tori makes this list for never holding a title in WWE. And if there were a list of wrestlers to never hold a single title ever in wrestling, she'd have Spot on that list too. Number 9, Crime Time. Crime Time consisted of both JTG and Shad Gaspard. The two formed the Team Crime Time, and the team's theme was stereotypical street thugs. They began teaming together in OVW in 2006. And in 2006, they made their way to WWE on the Raw brand as Crime Time, and was strongly over with the fans. But as over as they were, they'd be released by WWE by September 2007. After wrestling the independent wrestling circuits together, they returned together to WWE in 2008. But in 2010, just days after WrestleMania 26, the team would disband after Shad would turn on and attack his friend and partner, JTG. But by the end of 2010, Shad was released by WWE, and JTG stayed around, but never amounted to much before being released himself in 2014. After their WWE careers, they'd return to the indie wrestling scene and team together once again. They remained a team all the way up to Shad's death in 2020, after drowning to save his son's life. In 2022, Shad Gaspard received the WWE Warrior Award after his heroic act to save his son's life, and after fans worldwide demanded that he win the award. The team won championships outside of WWE, and in WWE was over big time with the fans. And although fans loved them and wanted much success for the duo, the real-life best friends were unable to hold any singles or tag team championships in WWE. Number 10, Stacy Keibler. Stacy Keibler started her wrestling career in WCW in 1999 and ended it in WWE in 2006. In WCW and WWE, she was a manager, and in WWE, occasionally wrestled. Outside of wrestling, she starred in commercials and had decent TV and film career. She's also done some modeling work. But as for wrestling, she's won the award for WWE Babe of the Year in 2004 and entered the WWE Hall of Fame in 2023. But those two awards were as close as she'd get to championship gold, because she has never won a title in WWE, or in any wrestling company if we're just being honest. And that was our list. Can you think of any other wrestlers who never held a WWE championship? Let us know in the comments section below, and don't forget to follow Ring Post Daily Podcast on YouTube and Facebook. Until we meet again, happy wrestling.